Hello, my girly pops! Today, we're doing something very different than usually. That is a lie. We're having a look at 2 beginner artist builds. Yippee! Everything but making a guide, am I right? I have crafted 2 builds, one with perks that you should have if you have artists but just installed the game, and another build that I myself have actually used to learn her power. For both of these builds, we'll be using the same add-ons, the Festering Carrion and the Thick Tar, which decrease your cooldown after sending a bird for half a second and make survivors take longer to repel the birds. Usually, I would recommend running the Velvet Fabric instead of one of these add-ons, depending on, what your playstyle is, what you prefer. But the Velvet Fabric is, I'm pretty sure, still bugged and does not work at all. If that has changed, please let me know. Our first build today consists of 2 perks from Artist herself, which are Pain Resonance and Grim Embrace. Pain Resonance is, the most popular gen regression perk, killer perk in general in this game. Every time I hook somebody on a sketch hook for the first time, gen with the most progress explodes and loses 15% of that progress instantly. It's pretty good because, you don't really have to do shit except for play the game. Our second perk, Grim Embrace, activates whenever you hook a survivor for the first time. She is the anti-tunnel queen, isn't she? It's a shame that she's still so good at it. Whenever I hook somebody for the first time, I gain a stack. When I step away from the hook, every generator blocks for 10 seconds. When I have 4 stacks, every generator blocks for 40 seconds, and the Obsession's aura is revealed to me. Our next perk is Predator, which is a perk from the Wraith. Whenever I lose chase with a survivor, and the perk isn't on cooldown, I guess, I see the survivor's aura for a few seconds. This is really good for artists because, you can hit people through walls from wherever you are, kind of, and you're a ranged killer, so you're probably losing chase a lot more often than others, especially when survivors know what you're doing and try to break line of sight often. This just eliminates the need to guess and helps you a little bit with learning her power and how to use it, and how survivors path. Last perk is really up to you depending on what you like to use. I've opted for Tinkerer for a bit more information. Yes, Artist has inbuilt information in her kit, but she still strives off of having information and actually knowing where survivors are without having to use her power, because she only has that one power. So if you can use it to injure and pressure survivors, instead of trying to find survivors, you're gonna have a lot more success, because you're wasting a lot less time. You can switch this perk out for whatever you want. You can put in another chase perk, like Brutal Strength, maybe Enduring, I don't know. You could also use Know It, which could help you win some games. However, I would advise against it if you want to learn her, because Know It is the perk that artificially inflates your MMR, so you're going to be going against a lot better survivors a lot more quickly, even though you shouldn't, and you might have a few problems with that. Now that we've gone over build number 1, let's have a look how it performs in-game. Alright, oh my god, this couldn't have been a worse map, could it? Alright, at the start of the match, if you don't have an early information perk like Lethal Pursuer or Corrupt, maybe Discordance, obviously you're gonna set up your power to check on gens. What I recommend you do is you wait a few seconds before doing that. We already found someone over here. They're not on those gens. You did not go downstairs, did you? Well, it's one easy trick we could do for this building in particular. Do this. We go check around, and they're not here. They're above us, actually. Alright, that's a bit annoying. If you send your power immediately, survivors don't often spawn on gens, so you're probably gonna be wasting a bit of time and resources. Make sure to set your birds at a slight angle. Did I just get stunned by a... by a chest? Is that why she... I think that's why she screamed. Like, we both got... Alright, let's use our first painters. We took a while to find our first person. Yeah, they do already have a Tinkerer. They also have this shit. Alright, there's a little trick with these trash bins in particular. Where you can send your birds upstairs, which is really nice. And she doesn't know! But it You need to find like things that are slightly elevated. Alright. It really helps to know the layout of stuff. Like I went upstairs and I saw that there's the window there. So I knew if she dropped, I had to be quick. And I was quick with it. Yippee! Woohoo, that's our second stack of Grim. We did hook our obsession first, which is really good. I don't want to chase in main, so I'm just not going to care about them doing that gen. I would rather check if they're here. And proxy camp the Anuk a little bit. Oh, did I see someone? Yes, I did. You're very unlucky with these, lady. You're very unlucky with these pallets. Oh, that is Predator being an MVP. Go somewhere else. With pallets, again, Artist doesn't have to break most pallets. Oh, she's lithe. Good job. Well done. But she's not repelling. Artist does not need to break these pallets if you're lucky. She didn't like that. She did not enjoy that. That is oh, she did not like that. That is sad. I'm so sorry, man. Alright, we need to use our pain resist, don't we? That would be nice. Simple shack gaming. It's gonna wait around the corner. That's why we put our birds at a slight angle. That's shack pallet, we have to break that. We put our birds at a slight angle so that people wait around corners. They still get hit. That was a little bit badly played from me, but it's fine. If people be patient. Like the one thing that I see many artist players make is they're just impatient with their power. Be patient with when you send it. Wait for them to step into it. The hitbox is fairly big, especially if you're going for a hit on a swarm. You do not have to be impatient with it. We're gonna do the same thing we did here. We're gonna set up a bird so that we know when they're going for that. Yo, little bot, do you wanna die real quick? Bots are fairly easy to manipulate. Like, if you get close, they drop pallets of old windows. You can just, like, set up really easily for those. Alright, that's our first player. It's our first character gone. Which is nice. I wouldn't tunnel this person usually. We do have 4 Tinkerers, though. I'm surprised they stayed here. You can break that with the... If you see a survivor pass towards it, like, this man literally just zoned himself. So I'm just gonna shut him down, I guess. If you can, I would always recommend swarming a survivor before you, like, go for them, really. I fully missed that. I'm the worst player in the world. Is he behind us? He is. And he's running. W King. We had 4 medkits in this match at the start. You need to be a little bit careful with medkits. Artist is one of the killers that suffers from just using the event power. You don't have to do that. I had a hook right there. I didn't need to do that. Artist is one of the characters that suffers a little bit from styptics and syringes. Because she is ranged and she needs to hit people more often. It's just a bit more painful. Plus, the nature of her power, I can't just decide to aim somewhere else. Like, if I've already set up my bird, I'm having an issue. You see, oh, she did not go for the window. Okay, good for her. She's running into the main building, which I do not want to chase around, so we're going to leave. It's always important to identify where you want to chase and where you don't want to chase. to not be caught up for hours on end. I saw him like hug the wall really weirdly, so I sent that there. He's zoning himself, okay. Good for him. Careful about the medkit. Always, if you have survivors with medkits, always look out for them. Always take like half a second longer before you hit them. It's a little bit like Dead Hard. Unfortunately, I don't know if we've had Grim Embrace active for seconds. I'm pretty sure we did. We can use this. We can do a slingshot here if she doesn't notice us. If. Well. All right. I'm gonna quickly kill this man. Really quickly, what I did here with this pallet, very important, like I said earlier, be patient. Usually, I would set up the bird and wait for the survivor to actually run into the pallet and drop it to send it. Especially, you know, if you think they have dead heart, etc. Wait for them to go in and to drop it. However, I did this here specifically to show you that even if you mess up, you still have a chance to body block if you're quick enough. He made the mistake of giving me the pallet after that, and they're going for the door right next to me, so that's a bit stupid. Hello. You don't make that, sweetie. You can just pre-set up for the pallet, we know that it's there. And we can just set up a little bird over here. Okay, he just... Usually, I do that so that people, like, eat the bird. Gonna just leave? She does. Yippee! And that is a 1 match on one of the worst maps in the game. Yippee! Don't be afraid to use your power if you don't know in which situations you can use them. That's how you learn to use them. Especially with this build, you have a good baseline. We didn't really see Predator in action. We only saw it a little bit here and there. But this build should help you just get into the game. You can also use this build on like literally every other killer. It's pretty decent on literally every character. Here we see what long queue times does to a motherfucker. So just try it out, change some perks around that you don't enjoy or that you don't get value from. But especially if you're new, you need to give yourself time to, first of all, learn the game. Like you saw me do like a few mind games. Not really. I don't really do mind games with Artist, but Artist does benefit from mind games because she is still a 4.6 killer. And especially if you don't have your power, you're gonna miss out on a lot of hits if you don't know how the game itself works. Just give yourself time to learn the game and give yourself time to learn the character. And now we're gonna have a look at the other build. Yippee! Woo! What an amazing match! Yippee! I waited 10 minutes for that. I hope it didn't suck. Our second build for today is a variation of the build I used when I started playing Artist and I just wanted to learn her power. This build will not win you games, but it will help you in chase and enable you to use your power a little bit more. Our first perk is Lethal Pursuer, which is objectively the best perk on this killer. At the start of the trial, when you load in, you will see every survivor's aura for a few seconds. At the start of the match, people usually don't know which killer they're playing against, which means you can practice your cross-map snipes, you can practice your slingshots, you can just learn where survivors spawn and how they behave. It's just a really good perk to use on this killer, especially when you're learning. It also lengthens the duration of every other aura reading ability by 2 seconds, which is really good for our next perk, Barbecue and Chili. Whenever you hook a survivor, you will see the aura of every survivor that is far away from you. This will help you Practice your cross-map snipes. It might help you slingshot, but keep in mind, people expect this perk on artists, so they're probably gonna get off gens or something when they hear you send a bird or after a few seconds after you hook somebody. It will help you get into your next chase quicker to use your power more and practice. It's a really good perk on this killer. Our next perk is Zanchin Tactics, which is an Oni teachable. This perk got buffed like 6 months ago or something, got a secondary effect, but I used it like 2 years ago already because its primary effect is really good on this killer. It shows you the aura of all pallets or windows that are close to you. It's basically windows of opportunity for killers. On most killers, this perk isn't too useful because, you don't benefit from knowing where the pallet is because usually you do know where the pallet is. And you're also running behind the survivor. So usually you have a bit more time to see where resources are, especially if a survivor paths towards them. However, with Artist, you can set up your power in advance to aim at things. This perk will teach you the layout of tiles, it will teach you to be preemptive with your power, and it can also help you to find points of interest to aim your power towards, so that survivors can dodge you a little bit less. Because, it's a lot easier to aim at a tree and to wait for the survivor to be in line with that tree than to aim in the middle of the open and guess if the survivor is going to be running into it. Our last perk is, again, up to you. I have opted for Brutal Strength. When I learned her power, I used Enduring. However, what Enduring did is it let me just make mistakes. It conditioned me to make mistakes in order to use my power. And especially with Zanchin Tactics, you don't really need Enduring. You're not going to run into the pallet. It did teach me to not be as afraid of pallets, though. However, survivors have gotten a lot better over time, and they're just pre-dropping pallets against artists nowadays. With Brutal Strength, you can alleviate that issue a little bit. You can break strong pallets quicker and punish survivors for pre-dropping, but keep in mind, first of all, you have Zanchin Tactics, which shows you the aura of survivors after they drop a pallet, and 2, Artist is a ranged killer that can hit you through walls. You don't need to break a lot of pallets, only if you're actually struggling with them, but I would still recommend that you try to play around the pallet before you break it, especially if you have your power. If you don't have your power, breaking the pallet is a good option while you're on cooldown. It's a little bit like Spirit. You don't have your power, you do your chores. Using the same add-ons as in the last match, and yeah, let's have a look, I guess. Yippee! Oh, I don't know if this is a better map or worse map than the one we had before, but we have perks that help. Okay, thanks game. Thanks game. Thanks. Alright, we have Peekaboo. And we have only 3 survivors. Oh, never mind, we have 4. People trying to dodge my birds. What the fuck? And she has dead zoned herself. Huh? What the fuck? Alright, that was a misplay. I don't know why that didn't hit her. The bird. It should have. I'm so confused. Well, she doesn't know where she's going, so hey. Nice balance, bozo. You have to do that earlier, sweetheart. I see the pallets. I'm gonna aim at it. And wait for her to be in line. Obviously, I didn't see that she was in line with it, but I could kind of guess because I have the skill already. Yes, yes. Alright, we have barbecue, so we're gonna practice ourselves a slingshot. We're gonna act like we're going into main, so that the people, well, the one person in the back doesn't know that we're actually going for them. And we missed with our first bird somehow. Well, it doesn't matter, she's not running anywhere. I messed it up totally, but she didn't make enough distance with it, so it's fine. We have 4 medkits again, so again, be careful with this pallet. It's just going around for some reason. Be careful with that. Always check, like, if you don't have the skill that I do, I don't have the skill, I just hit her. Make sure to check if they have the medkits still in their hands or not. If they don't, you're gonna be in trouble. The person just... We're gonna go for this lady. Because we've already hurt her once. Going upstairs again? Which is kind of dumb. Oh, I was hoping she would run into it. She didn't, but she wasted a lot of her speed boost. Pre-aim at the pallet. Not going for it, she's just running. Do the standard. Gonna smack her. Yippee-yay. So fun. That's like the bad part about playing artists. Like, people just run. Oftentimes they run without a plan, like this one. I don't know what she thinks she's gonna get from going into this tile. We're just gonna shut down the pallet and then we're gonna play the window. What is she doing? I'm very unsure about what she thinks she's doing. Just be careful. Be careful with those. Be careful with those. I don't think anybody has dropped a pallet yet. So not a lot of breaking stuff. You can use brutal to break gens as well. You can put in a gen regression perk. Careful about these chests, they're evil. Right there on that gen in the back. We're gonna act like we're going for the noise notification. We're gonna do this. And they just left again. You're so boring. Where are you, little shit? Who's here even? Check lockers if you think somebody might be in them. Doo-doo-doo. Why did I hook this woman? Where'd the sable go? It was close enough to it still. Even if you don't get the... That is Sanchin Tactics in glorious action. I love this perk. I need to use it more often. It's so fun. It's just, you know, with funny little aura gimmicky builds, it's like, yeah, the perk is fun, right? But gen regression is just gonna win you more games, right? You can set up birds on this elevation to hit them directly. Maybe not there. Doo-doo-doo. Aw. Who the fuck got her? What? Fuck this lady already as well. I do have to kill that sailor as soon as I can. She's just a little bit too cocky for my liking. And I don't like that. Funnily enough. She's dead. She is literally just dead. We're gonna set up a bird here. We're gonna run this way. We're gonna cry because we're DCing. That was not nice. That was very mean, actually. I'm gonna try not to use my event stuff. Well, it's a little annoying, isn't it? Michaela. That's a reality of artists. They still haven't changed that. Still. Oh, TNL wall, very easy. If the survivor wants to stay, which they don't. She gave me a free swarm there. That was so bad. Hide yourself. Didn't expect that. If you have a survivor that's running away just after you hit them, make sure to hide yourself. All right. They're being a little bitches. I cannot see if somebody is at that gate because of the stupid aura from the thing. Where's the other door? Over there. Okay. Oh, I see. I've never seen this person actually this match. That's the big hitboxes. Like I said, this build is not gonna win you a lot of games. But it is going to help you like learn the power a little bit. Predict what survivors are doing, etc. Just gonna use the remote hook again. Fuck you. Bitches. Aw, they healed in time. It takes 16 seconds to heal usually. The important thing about Archer's power is that the cooldown is a lot shorter. You are really annoying. Sable's going for that save. Good for her. Let's see if we can prevent that. We did hit her. This is probably going to be a 1 kill. Maybe 2. Probably 1. Oh, okay, she's running, What is she doing? What is she doing? I expected her to go for the T&L wall after I set up on the pallet. Well, so 1 kill. It's like the sad reality of artists if you don't tunnel somebody out and they have strong shit. What are you doing? That was such a dumb idea. That was a really dumb idea. Like, this woman was dead no matter what. But hey. See what they brought. Yeah, really strong healing. It's just really annoying. You have to hit people 4 times. You cannot follow up on these, on the current healing meta. It's really, it pisses me off. Please, behavior, do something for this killer. You tried it and you failed miserably. Please do something properly. But, like I said, build not there to win you games. If I had gen regression, I would have probably won this game. If you want to try this killer, here are some builds. But don't be discouraged if you lose games or don't do well. She is really hard to pick up, but she can be really fun and really rewarding. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Living life every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days. Fuck me, I'm looking in the mirror, so foggy, but I've never seen clearer. I don't really think anyone can save me, and honestly I'm not really sure I want saving. I like to be my own worst enemy. There's no risk if you don't try at anything, so I'ma just keep buying everything. See you in the next life, have to be a better me.